There are various other lines of Shia Muslims that don't believe there is actually 12 Imams after the Prophet Muhammad, but have a different number, somewhat different lineage after of Ali's descendants, in which should have been leaders. One of the largest of these other sub-denominations are the Seveners, often called the Ismailis. No connection here really to that king Ismail the First, but these Ismailis take their name from an imam whose name Ismail. They believe that there is 7 holy imams. They disagree, in fact, on what happened from the 6th to the 7th imam and the passing of successorship. And this form of Shia Muslims really emphasize that the Quran doesn't only have an outer, exterior meaning, but there's an inner, sort of mystical meaning of the Quran. And through the different imams' teachings themselves, these help us to discern what those inner mystical meanings are. And the Ismailis are in many ways a very influential sub-denomination of Islam to today. Okay, and there's other groups such as the Zaydis, and they're primarily rooted in Yemen, and they believe that there's 5, or believe in a 5 lineage of holy imams, and or at least disagree with the other 2 main groups about what happened in the successorship around the 4th to 5th imam successorship, what should have happened. But for the purpose of this class, only 12 are Ashura. Shiite Muslims are the only. Shia Islam is the largest sub-denomination of Shia Islam. There are other forms of Shia Islam, other sub-denominations. The largest of these, second to the Ashura sub-denomination, are the Ismaili, or Sevener Shiite Muslims, and they gained the name Sevener not exactly the same way that the 12er Shiitism gets their 12 name. They don't so much believe that there were just 6 or 7 imams. In fact, they believe their present-day leader, Shah Aga Khan, is something of an imam figure. Rather, they're called Seveners because it's in the successorship of the 6th to 7th imam in which they disagree with the 12er Shiites on who should have been the successor. The Seveners, in their approach to truth and spiritual truth, say that there's not just an outer or literal meaning to the Quran, but that there is an inner, esoteric, or mystical meaning to the Quran, and one can best discern this inner meaning through the teachings of the holy imams themselves, as well as through applying one's own rational abilities, one's own reasoning abilities. Today, they are a group that is about the largest of the sub-denomination, the ones that follow the Shah Aga Khan. They emphasize social justice and promoting social justice throughout the world through peaceful means and interfaith dialogue and socioeconomic projects. They also promote pluralism and doing different projects of interreligious and intra-religious and somewhat interracial and interethnic understanding around the world. Lastly, we'll talk briefly about the Zaydis, who are also sometimes called the Fivers, and this is another sub-denomination of Shia Islam, and they gained their names like the Seveners do through their disagreement around the fourth to fifth successor to the Prophet Muhammad. So they disagree with the Twelvers about who was the fourth and fifth successor. And today this group is largely found within Yemen, where they form a large minority of the population in Yemen, and they've been greatly noticed in recent years due to the civil war that's been taking place within that country over the last few years, and they've been very active in trying to promote their own rulership, partaking in that civil war.